Hello there, I am Stefan. I'm a profitable trader since 2005 and I made $5 million in the Forex and crypto and markets and actually no. I'm a guy with $45 on BitGet who has been studying trading for almost a year now and has been trying a lot of things and is developing his own strategies, and I am someone who claims I may have found the strategies that will float my equity upwards from now, and I'm in the midst of proving that. So if that kind of thing interests you, please stick around, because I'm going to show you some details. Yeah, so I've decided to become very honest now, like brutally honest. This section on my website you will find my daily profits and losses. These are the closed trades on BitGet. When I deposit or withdraw any money, it doesn't show here. This is just the result of trading. So you can look at this and you can tell yourself, ask yourself, would you invest in this endeavor? And you can multiply this with any number, you know. So you basically put 2 zeros at the end of every number and then have your profit estimate. But you have to do it to the positive and the negative numbers. That's kind of the clue here. So I'm not even sure if this whole thing in total is positive or negative. I had these great breakthroughs here, sometimes lost it again, and it's kind of hovering around the 0 mark right now. So I'm more or less break even. The starting point more or less was $50, so yeah, seems like we're a bit below it, but we were already below 40. Now we got higher again. There's a curve somewhere on my software here. This is the 3-day curve. Yeah, it's not really profitable yet, maybe, but it's getting a lot more stable. No more of these trades that just, you know, kill your equity. Reasonable small trades with small money. But as I said, you can multiply it with any number once the stuff is positive. The active strategies are in the plus, but I switch strategies on and off, so it's not necessarily completely representative. Yeah, so which strategies do we use? I still use the mystery strategy shown to you in the last video. And let's zoom out here. That was actually the wrong one. Here. And I will explain why there are 2 strategies now in a moment. So it all went great. Here. Went great here. We entered this range here. But then things turned a little bad. And this is already marked, this says Mark 3, yeah. In Mark 2, I introduced shorts. Before we only did long trades, and now this here is a short trade. So actually the trades I made here were loser trades because we only did longs. So I extended the algorithm a little bit. So now it's a bit more complicated. It's not only the MACD that's used. Well, funnily it's still the MACD that's used, but it's used in 2 different ways. So as before, we check these histograms here for the entry and exit, but we also check the raw value of the MACD, which is the same as the distance between the blue and the yellow line, for a general trend. That's usually what you do with trading strategies. If your signals are not good enough, you filter them with a larger trend. And that's what I did here. And I visualized this with these nice clouds here, green and the red cloud. So whenever there's any green in the column, it means longs are allowed. And when there's any red, it means shorts are allowed. So there are times when both longs and shorts are allowed, times when only shorts are allowed because this is a clear downtrend, and times when only longs are allowed. And I made up some new threshold values for the shorts, which are a bit different from the longs. So now we have shorts too, and this kind of fixed this downtrend here. So the strategy is more complicated, but in a reasonable way. And then we had another problem. Suddenly there was another range-ish structure. Well, a bit bigger range. And the strategy only made losers here, which of course I did not like. And I was looking for a solution there. This goes on for a while. There's one winner here, but overall it's negative. I thought, how can I fix this? And I tried a very strange thing, which worked out beautifully. I just reversed the signal. Instead of opening a long at the top here and closing it down here, or opening a short down here and long up there, I reversed it. I made a short here and a long there. So I just did the opposite thing of what the MACD usually told me, and now suddenly I have profits again. So here the same time period with the mystery strategy reversed. There, all plus. Yeah, so I actually ran this strategy, made a little profit. And then there came a point where it looked like it switched again. This is right now, actually. So I'm simulating both the trade of the old version and of the reversed version. And I'm checking out which one will win. And maybe I'll wait for the next trade, also in the simulation, and then I decide whether to switch back to this normal strategy up there. So the name mystery strategy is quite fitting, I think, because it's kind of still a mystery. Why does the opposite of the MACD work in some periods and the normal version works in the others? Mysterious, but I still have faith in this thing. Next strategy we have is on Gala, which is in the plus right now, which is beautiful. Curve is here. It's the GKYZ strategy. It's the first letter of the last name of 4 researchers who created a system, and I kind of used that system. It's a very, pretty straightforward strategy. It does have different sized positions, so you can see here some of these boxes are taller, some are flatter, so depending on the jump in this trend line, it sets the position size differently. And the stop loss and the take profit distance differently. The current trade is pretty big here. There's a long way to go down, but it may just work out, who knows. Looking pretty good right now. And yeah, this back test, I think, it's not the worst. It's pretty good for compounding also, I think. I'm pretty brave. I'm doing 10% risk for each of these trades here, hoping to grow my equity. And another one of the running strategies is here, Rob Booker. I once again took some established trading theory, this time by a guy called Mr. Booker, and I adapted a little bit and made a strategy out of it. Just today I added shorts to it. Before we had only longs, and it looked like this. It goes up alright, but it's very zigzaggy, as you can see. And so I did shorts with slightly modified parameters. This is looking okay. And both together actually make this kind of healthy. Profit 17, drawdown 5. It's a factor of 3, that's good. Not the end all is all of all strategies, but looks pretty reasonable. So I'm running this also. Let me check if I forgot anything. Oh, LDO, what is LDO again? AVAX is the same as ETH, exactly the same situation. Here with the reversal and everything. Let's check out LDO. Here we go, LDO, here we go. Oh, profit is rising, I love it. Yeah, a funny shape. Yeah, this is actually yet another strategy that I completely made up myself. The cool thing here is it has sim mode. Sim mode means whenever stuff doesn't work out, whenever we make a losing position, we go into simulation. We just pretend we are making trades. And here in Trading View, I just make the trade really, really small because I can't make it 0. I make it like it just sends our risk here. In the real execution of the strategy, I don't do any trade. I just simulate. So we simulate, and when the simulation yields a winning trade, we switch the strategy back on again, basically. So the next trade is done with real money. For example, here, 23 plus. And then there are different modes that you can experiment with. You can either keep doing real positions until there's a loser, and then you go to sim mode, or in this case, actually, it turned out to be better just to do one real position. Single trade, yes, that's the thing. So after each trade and with real money, we go into sim mode automatically, and only when we simulate a good position, then we start a real position. In this case, that one failed. So, once again, this is something that works for some coins and totally doesn't work for any other coin. I found that trading strategies in crypto are very dependent on the individual coin. At the very least, you have to tweak parameters, that's to be expected, but you also just can't use many strategies on that many coins. Some strategies only seem to work on one coin. That's really funny. So this here is an unusual curve. The flat parts are where it simulates positions. That's why it looks a bit strange. You can't do this any other way in TradingView. And is it even going up? I mean, are we sure it's going up? I seemed to have trusted this curve, otherwise I wouldn't have done this. Yeah. Yeah, this one appears like to be the weakest of the strategies we have right now. This strategy I like very much, and the current trade is seeming to go well. And my mystery strategy I love a lot, even though I'm still figuring out the last mysteries. Oh, isn't that nice? While I talk, this goes into profit. So right now I could put a stop loss in here, so I can guarantee the trade never goes into negative. Or I can just leave it running and risk it going negative again. I have this vow that says let the strategy do what it does, but it's sometimes okay to mess with the strategy. Like just put a stop loss here to have a small profit. That would be reasonable, I guess. Yeah, I'm trying to get back to the 50 to finally get into profit. Yep, that was it for today. Bye bye.